The Garda commissioner has warned of an increase in violent political extremism in Ireland. Justin Kelly said yesterday at a pass out for the Gardaí in Templemore, said that Gardaí are monitoring a small group with the potential to become involved in dangerous activities. Now, they don't say if they're left or right. Presumably they're right-wing people, but it also could be left-wing people. You know, we know that 80% of arrests from Europol stats are left-wing dissident people, crazy, woke, left-wing crackpots, of course, running the crime in Europe. He was speaking at the graduation of new recruits in Templemore to indoctrinate them, to brutalize the Irish public if they try and speak up against the crazy, tyrannical, open borders government that we have here in Ireland. A quick message to all the people in IPAS centres and all the foreigners in Ireland that are listening to these messages and that are scared that you might get attacked in the streets of Ireland. 100% you are safe. This is an ultimate gaslighting by the Garda Commissioner and the Irish government. They're giving the foreigners and these people in IPAS centres 5-star meals. They're letting them stay in 5-star accommodation. They're getting everything for free, cars, houses. But then they say that they're the victims, okay? They're blaming the Irish public for now threatening these people, which isn't happening. The Irish public are being ultimately gaslit by the mainstream media and the woke Irish government. You are in no danger if you're a member of the IPAS centres or a foreigner in this country. You are under no danger. This ICA, Irish Citizens Army, that supposedly is threatening to burn down mosques and all this nonsense, IPAS centres, trust me on this one, guys. You are in no danger, okay? Because they probably don't even exist.
For the last 9 months, they've been put through their paces here at the training college in Templemore. And today, 194 Gardaí and 17 Garda reserves were attested as sworn members of the force. Among the graduates, a former journalist who decided to join the Guards after the Dublin riots 2 years ago.
People I know, maybe that would send them running in the opposite direction, but for me, it was just kind of an eye-opener that I wanted to be stuck in and get involved that way.
Why would they mention the Dublin riots, but not mention that there was like 3 or 4 young, 6-year-olds, 4 to 6-year-olds that were stabbed in the neck and in the head by some Algerian foreign migrant that shouldn't have even been in the country, an illegal migrant? They mention the riots, but they don't mention that. Like, I'm not really afraid of some Irish young fellas running around the place. They're dangerous a little bit. I'm afraid of some North African, some psychopath from the Middle East that is come from a war-torn country, an ISIS training camp, and running at me with a knife. That's what I'm afraid of.
This recruits also includes the oldest ever Garda graduate.
It feels good that I can come here at 51 and undertake the training here and come out the other end. It's going to be a tough job, there's no doubt about that. So I'm open to anything, so I suppose it is a challenging job.
And one of those challenges is the increase in violent far-right extremism. Today, the Commissioner, Justin Kelly, said Gardaí are monitoring a small number of activists, some who may try to get their hands on guns and bombs and become involved in dangerous activities.
What?
There are people here and they intend to do harm, particularly to some of our migrant communities, and that's something that we have to be completely alive to. We're not immune to that. We've seen that in the UK and across Europe. But it's something, as I say, in Garda Síochána, we continue to build our capabilities around it.
Wait a second, but have we seen any attack on migrant members in Ireland, though? If it happens in the UK or in Europe, that's different now. Do we have that happening? Members of far-right organisations are en masse brutalising, killing foreign people? This is, again, the ultimate gaslighting, guys. They're getting free meals, free accommodation, they're here living for free, getting everything for free off the taxpayers' back, and then they blame you, the Irish public, for threatening them and for being a danger to them. We're not a danger. Nobody that I know is a danger to these people, guys. We just don't want them in the country because they're living here for free and we could be taking care of our own Irish people before them. What the? This is crazy. You don't hate Virgin Media News enough. They say one of the biggest challenges that is lately happening is the increase in violent political extremism. No, it's not, guys. I haven't seen any. The thing you should be afraid of if you're a Gardaí or if you're a citizen of this country is the open borders, mass illegal immigration into the country of people from God knows where, their sleeper cells. They could be ISIS, Al-Qaeda members. What the hell? And then flipping, they're killing our people. Ashling Murphy, the 10-year-old at City West. I mean, the list just goes on and on. I literally make a video every day about illegal migrant crime and fraud. What is this talk? And I don't think I've ever reacted to a video of any iPass person getting hurt. What is going on here? This is actually brainwashing. What is this, guys? Virgin Media are evil, guys. They are an evil news platform, man.
Were charged in connection with the cross-border terrorism operation, with the court being told about an alleged plot to attack a mosque, iPass centres and hotels housing migrants.
Yes, and it's been proven that those two guys were in cahoots with like Sinn Féin. The wives, the partners of these people were working with and in Sinn Féin. They were far left people. They had nothing to do with the far right. What? Bro, this is insanity, guys. And they're not even Irish. They're in the northern of Ireland. One guy was a gun from hire from Lithuania. The other guy was Northern Irish. They're not even from the Republic. Like, what's going on?
Very serious. I mean, you're talking about an organisation. You're talking about an organised approach to inflict violence on people.
The law of the land applies to social media companies as well, and if people are seeking to incite killings or they're trying to incite violence against individuals, the social media companies have an obligation to comply with that, and they need to be aware of that.
Who in their right mind would be threatening minority groups? Guys, if you're doing that, you're a crackpot and you deserve to be in jail. I'm just trying to say that what the media is putting out is not actually the news. They're creating news stories that aren't real. This is like a real psychological warfare operation.
Aware of that.
On Monday, more than 220 new recruits will enter the Garda College, the largest class in 10 years. Paul Quinn, Virgin Media News.
It's great to see they're all happy and yeah, thumbs up, everyone, we're all happy, but I would never become a Gardaí right now. Maybe 10 years ago, if there was like, you know, to stop murderers and sexual predators. Nowadays, guys, you're just basically handing out tickets to people, you're like a tax collector. And also, you have psychopaths running around with knives, machetes, guns. The Gardaí only have tasers and pepper spray. You're going to get killed. I mean, it's just such a dangerous job to be a Gardaí now. Like, I would never become a Gardaí because the level of danger from psychopaths, even the gangs, the Irish gangs in Dublin as well. Like, there's gangs in Dublin with guns and stuff. Like, the Gardaí, regular Gardaí on patrol, they don't have any of these weapons. You're a sitting duck. Like, this is, oh no, man, it's so dangerous. On top of it, the recruitment campaigns for the Gardaí are insane. A lot of people, it says here, aren't even vetted. So if you're not vetted becoming a Gardaí, that could be a threat to national security. Taoiseach Micheál Martin recently said, what does vetting actually mean? He doesn't even know what it means, Micheál Martin. He doesn't know that we should have background checks. Like when you go work in any job, any professional job, like if you're in childcare or anything like that, a nurse, a doctor, you get a vetting background check in Ireland. Everybody knows that because they want to see have you committed crimes in the past. Not even the Taoiseach knows that you have to be vetted to become a Garda Síochána. When they're recruitment people, they're recruiting unvetted foreigners into the police force in Ireland.
Taoiseach, genuinely, how can you stand over people being taken into the Garda College in Templemore without being vetted?
If you have any questions, the inspector is just going to talk to you about what you need, how long you have to live in Ireland, what qualifications you might need to join in Garda Síochána, but please don't rule it out. We need the Muslim community represented in Garda Síochána. We need the travelling community. We need a lot of different communities. It can't be all Irish men and women.
Wait, hold on a second. He kind of had me there for a while. Okay, you need different communities to represent different communities, right? So Arabic people, you know, can now, if they're Gardaí, or black people that are Gardaí can go and talk to black communities in Ireland, right? I understand that a little bit, okay? I understand they're trying to do this reach out community leadership, but he said it can't be all white Irish people or whatever. What did he say?
Everyone in his house wants us.
Different communities, travelling communities, different communities, men and women.
Everyone in his house.
All Irish men. It can't be all Irish men and women.
He said specifically at the end, it can't be all Irish men and women. That's like racist to say that. That's like racist. That means you're saying that you're hiring people based off their race because you want certain quotas. Like, what? Bro, I don't even know.
Everyone in his house wants us to get more Gardaí as quickly as we possibly can, get them trained, get them out on the street to increase policing. I mean, that's the whole objective of people going into Templemore. The precise arrangements, I engage with the Minister for Justice. I'll raise the issue that you've raised with me, and I'll ask the Minister for Justice to resign.
Thank you, Taoiseach.
My honest view, I think vetting is important, but
the
it's
Social Democrats, please, Deputy.
What does vetting actually mean?
Taoiseach.
What did he say there? It's overrated. but so is what? I don't even know what he said there, guys. Just a complete clown show, man. Joining the Gardaí, guys, I would never do it anymore, man. It's so dangerous, man. You could get stabbed. We have Gardaí on Capel Street, I believe, in Dublin. They got stabbed in the back. It looked set up. That also looked set up to me, personally, like a false flag attack to kind of bring in more laws. And in regards to the Garda Commissioner warning of the increased violent political extremism in Ireland from the far right group, okay, this IDA or the ICA, which Irish Citizens Army that's going to take on the Irish Defence Forces. First of all, it's complete gaslighting us. Second of all, it's just to bring in more tyrannical laws to take away freedoms from the Irish public. That's it, guys. Bring in digital ID, bring in these laws. That's what it is. Bring in hate speech laws, bring in free speech laws. That's all it is. It's just a ruse to bring in more laws to take more freedoms away from you, the Irish public. Changing subjects a little bit, here we have the realities of the housing crisis on the ground as government launches new housing plan. Of course, we know that housing in Ireland is a disaster, guys. They're speaking today on RTE to Maura Fay in Drogheda about how they're coping with the lack of housing and the price of rent. And this is basically everyone's situation in Ireland. You can't get a house, you can't start a family. It's the erosion of the Irish family. They are trying to decimate the Irish public in real time.
30 years of age, I live basically with my partner. We live with his mother in a 3-bedroom house. I'm in pretty much full-time employment, always have been since I was 14, and there is no feasible chance in the world at the moment of me being able to afford rent. And I've worked my whole life and paid taxes my whole life. I have nothing. There has to be more reasonable rent prices and options for people. Like, it can't always just be, oh, go on the HAP. Like, landlords don't want you if you're on the HAP. My mum and dad, when they were my age, had a mortgage, 2 cars. Everything just seemed to be more affordable back then, or maybe wages were better back then.
Yeah, like, things back in the 80s were amazing, the 90s. What was the common denominator back in the 80s and 90s? Was it the lack of diversity? Was it the lack of options that you had in a partner? Like, what was the actual benefits back in the 80s and 90s when we talk about make Ireland great again? What was the benefits? What are they trying to make Ireland great? Why was it so good for our parents back in the day in Ireland? Was it because they actually didn't have an influx of hundreds of thousands of mass illegal migrants into the country?
Yeah, they just need to lower the rent and allow us to actually get out there and live our lives outside of our parents' houses.
Do you have any hope of being able to buy your own home?
Absolutely not. That's not even a thought in my mind. I know that would be such a pipe dream. That's so unfeasible. If I can't afford to rent a 1-bedroom apartment or even a room in a house with how many ever other people, I'm never going to be able to afford a mortgage.
That is so sad. Just hearing a woman say that is just, with guys, we can kind of scrutinize men heavily, in my opinion. But when we're talking about women now not being able to live out of their parents' house and this kind of stuff, like, man, that's just sad. Like, women should be living, having kids young, making families, starting families, keeping the Irish culture alive. Women do an amazing job in this country, guys. They're keeping culture, heritage alive. They're very based. Now they're just getting decimated. Like, women are just, I don't even know how they live here. It's just disgusting. Everyone's moved to Australia and Canada. The next story we have here is Labour's Conor Sheehan has called for a national action plan to tackle discrimination and hatred against the LGBT community. But what he doesn't know is there is no hatred and no discrimination against the LGBT community in Ireland. I've never seen it. It's a complete fake story that they keep bringing up every single week, that the LGBT community is getting hurt, that they're being discriminated against, they're spreading hate against them. Nobody is doing that. Everybody is the same under Irish law, and I hope everybody is free. My heart would bleed if any person that was gay would feel suffering or anything like that, but they're not, guys. They're just plain and simple not. This is a nothing burger, okay? This is a nothing story that they keep bringing up to push down the rights of Irish people. That's plain and simple what it is. There is nothing that is needed to be done, okay? They have a month, they have 3 or 4 months. Every single time I go to Galway City, they have pride flags everywhere. They have the whole flipping month. They have the whole year, guys. It's just taken over everything, right? Irish, straight, white people, we don't have any month. The veterans get a day. Like, the flipping, St. Patrick's Day gets a day. St. Patrick gets a day. He pretty much saved the damn country. He made the country of Ireland what it is today. Like, what about Family Month? What about actually pushing stuff that's not to do with gay people and stuff, to do with straight Family Month, to help push families, giving monies to families to help raise Irish kids. No, we got to keep talking about the LGBT community 24/7 en masse till it's coming out of our ears. It's just getting ridiculous at this point, guys. They have the same rights as everybody else in this country. Here we have another bullshit video from Russell Howard from the Late Late Show, of course, talking about, sorry, Irish Americans. Russell Howard has some news for you. You're not Irish. What I would say, Russell Howard is full of shit, and absolutely 100% Irish Americans are 100% Irish. Look at Conan O'Brien. He's 100% Irish from Limerick. All these Irish Americans are Irish, but all of a sudden, if you take North Africans, Roma Gypsies, and people from the Middle East, all of a sudden you take them from China, from everywhere all over the world, and you plant them in Ireland, all of a sudden, overnight, you become Irish. But Irish Americans who literally helped form the country, who left maybe 100 years ago, they're not Irish, but they were there for thousands of years beforehand. Ridiculous.
You've got a soft spot for Ireland.
I love it.
You love Dublin.
But it's everything about this place. It's the people, the pubs, the music, the crack, the atmosphere, the energy, the buildings. The only thing that ruins it are Americans. That is the only thing, isn't it? Like,
that's also racist. A lot of people don't understand. You're actually being racist there. Imagine if he was to say, yeah, you know the thing that ruins Ireland? Yeah, you know, the Pakistanis, they ruin Ireland. Imagine if he was to say that. Imagine if he was to say, oh, the black people or the Indian people of Ireland are the people that are ruining Ireland. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if he said that? It would be an international incident. He'd get cancelled. He'd get fired from all his gigs. It's ridiculous, guys. It's a two-standard double system. He's racist. Russell Howard is racist towards Americans. And that is possible. You are able to do that.
I'm Irish. I'm so, look at me. I'm acting the maggot. Like, it's my husband, Chad. I'm going to write the whole off him. He's like, you're not Irish.
you're wearing a bomb bag and you're holding a leprechaun that was sold to you by a man who is Irish. Like,
Bro.
Just turn the volume down. They don't know that we're hated. At least the Brits know.
The least funny comedian. He wasn't funny on Mock the Week, and he's still not funny now. Russell Howard is a dork. Absolute pencil neck dork. Lastly, we have Mark Ruffalo talking about immigrants in the US, which is basically the same as Ireland, saying most of the crimes committed in this country are by white people. 13% of a certain race of people commit 50% of the violent attacks in the US. So certain crimes definitely for certain people. Obviously, white people probably commit most of the Wall Street kind of crimes and white collar crimes. So I understand, but the guy has not a clue in his head. He has immigrant on his hat as well, which, I mean, technically my family, half of my family are immigrants. So I'm not sure what he's trying to say here. He's trying to defend immigrants, but there are dangerous immigrants coming over, guys. So this is a real facade that they keep bringing up.
It's not the immigrants, it's the billionaires. While we're seeing what's happening, first of all, we're understanding that the immigrants aren't the criminals. If you look at the statistics, most of the crimes that are committed in this country are by white people, that non-immigrants, and they add to our economy by the billions. And so for every horrible thing that you have to go through in life, you get an equal gift in return. And the gift of this time is that we get to see who the true villains are. We get to see who's really making our lives unbearable and who's making us so desperate.
So this No Kings rally is like anti-billionaires, anti-sort of, you know, oligarchies in the USA, right? But money does kind of control all now. You know, people are money obsessed. Money is their god. Money is not my god, guys. Okay, I'm not against making money. You can make a few thousand per month, but this whole making billions, I understand, okay? Billionaires should probably have to give more to charity or something. I'm not so sure, guys, because then it doesn't incentivize billionaires. And I'm not a socialist. I'm not a communist. So if they're making all this money, they're obviously doing something correct, guys. So maybe you could learn from them and stop hating on them. Mark Ruffalo, isn't he like a billionaire as well? Like, he's rich as all hell, right? He's like a massively rich billionaire guy. Okay, well, he's a multi-millionaire. Like, it's funny, like, you have all these multi-millionaires saying, oh, billionaires, give up your money. You guys are worth like 300 million as well. Like, it's just ridiculous, you know? And obviously Holly Carnes said the same thing in Ireland recently, saying that, of course, Irish white people commit more crime in Ireland than any foreign people, where that just isn't the case, guys, per capita. Per capita, it's kind of, I think, higher with the immigrant population, or at least it seems like that when I react to them every single day. But obviously, you know, white people commit crime as well. I'm under no illusion that that is the case, guys. Let me know your thoughts. If you want to support me, hit the join link underneath the video. Become a member today for just €3 per month. Help support me so I can help support you. Push back against the mainstream media, the woke Irish government, and everybody in between. And I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.